Hello, welcome to another video, a follow-up video. On after the previous DCS mission that I put together, very basic one, flying across to England and back again, which that one was. Now I've done another pretty basic mission setup here. Same Merville Cologne airbase or airstrip taking off from here. No differences with respect to the setup of my little group here of three BF-109s. The addition here, however, is a bombing squadron, a group of Ju-88s. So these I have given a couple of bombs. They can have torpedoes as well, but this is a land bombing run, carpet bombing, not dive bombing this time. I might do a dive bombing in a future video. And so I've got in total 24 planes. So 4 groups of 3 here, 4 groups of 3 here. I have attempted to give them names which align roughly with the Luftwaffe nomenclature. So we have here the Kampfgeschwader, which was the designation given to bombing squadrons, if you will. This is the swarm number. This is the, oh my word, how did I do it? So we have, oh here we go, I've got my notes here again. It's quite a complex series of designations that they had. So this is the Staffel number 1. So this would be the Stabsstaffel, so the lead aircraft, which I based all of the waypoints and bombing commands on. Everything else is tethered to this, tethered. Then the lead of that one is tethered to that, and each of these is tethered to their own group leader. So we have here, this is the first Staffel, like I say, the bombing group there, the Kampfgeschwader. Then we have this number here, which was the number of the Geschwader, the Kampfgeschwader 1. And then this one here is the Schwarm number, like the swarm number. And then this number here is the Kette number. So we have, it sort of goes in descending order. So we have the first Staffel of Kampfgeschwader 1, so the main group, and then Swarm 1, and then Kette 1, essentially group 1. Then each plane has got a letter designation after it within this little group. So we have A, B, and C. Then if we go here, this is all the same designation except for 2, because it is the second swarm. So then we have 2A, 2B, 2C. This one is the... so it's still the first swarm, but the second Kette. Then we have the second swarm, this one here, and the first group within that swarm. And then we have the second swarm and the second group. And then over here, the only difference now is second. This is now the second Staffel of the same group. And then other than that, all of the designations follow the same, the only difference here being a 2 at the start. Anyway, fascinating stuff. So there's probably a few inaccuracies there in terms of my Luftwaffe nomenclature. However, that's roughly how they organized themselves. We then have, oh yes, we did actually give them, tell them to land there. So the idea is they fly along here, they then reach their first waypoint. They're already in the air. They're en route. They're flying from this direction in a northwesterly direction. They fly along here, along here, along here. Now, this is the first waypoint. So if we go advanced waypoint options, I have selected the carpet bombing option, which has the carpet bombing point here underneath this box that I've drawn for the Dover radar towers. These radar towers here, if you can see. So carpet bombing there. Because all of the other aircraft are tethered via this option, big formation, they will follow suit. If I edit that, big formation, and you can designate how here the positions within the group do their thing. Carpet bombing, if we go and have a look here in carpet bombing, I've selected the weapon to use, which is bombs. It's important to always select all if you want them to release all their bombs. If you select auto, they tend to only drop one. You can change the pattern length, how spread out they are. They're going to be flying at an altitude of 10,000 feet, so relatively safe, out of the range of the anti-aircraft. However, they probably will get a few shots off, so there is some risk. Now, then after that they'll fly here, do a bit of a loopy loop around, and then come back down this way, come to here, and then in theory come and land here at Abbeville Drucat. We may not get that far, so my objective is simply to escort these bombers, intercept with them, to try and find where they are along this path here. They get here at approximately 8:48, 8:49 a.m. So yeah, I'll make a note of that actually. 8:48 a.m. The mission starts at 8 a.m. And so fly here, meet up with them at 8:48 or before, escort them across the channel, and then just sort of fly around. There's no aircraft. There's no British squadrons scrambling to attack. Like I say, these are just a series of very simple missions that I'm putting together just to get back into the game and recording and putting on YouTube for anyone who's interested. So with that said, all going well, these formations will be nice and tight. They will drop their bombs, there'll be some radar towers knocked out, they'll fly back, and all will be good. So I'll leave it there, and the next part of this video should be us engaging in the mission. So stay tuned for that. Okay, here we are. Now, this startup procedure worked out a good deal better than the previous startup. The main difference here is that everything else is the same, but just doing the prop pitch control there, is that at startup I only move the throttle just an inch forward, just a little bit. The booster pumps up. Magneto's on. Pumping the fuel, everything else is fine. The wheel is locked in. Trim push down, nose push down just a tad. The radiator flaps are open. Now, calling through to run the starter. Now this will just be moved a little bit forward so that as she starts up, the RPM just comes up to about there, as opposed to revving really high like it did in the previous one. So yeah, always just move the throttle just a little bit forward, not far. Okay, this is me activating the nose cannon. Alt spacebar does it.
Clear.
And there we go, you see, nice smooth startup. If you push the throttle too far forward at startup, it goes way up here. It just really is too rough on the engine. Now, waiting for a few moments to bring the temperature up. This is the engine temperature here. As you can see, it's still cold. Here is the oil temperature, still cold. Fuel, good. Oil pressure, good. Throttling up a bit, just to warm up a bit quicker. Now the other thing as well is sitting here and starting up like this is, if you remember the last video, taxiing was really difficult, whereas now, after having done that more gentle startup, with the wheel locked in, just very easy to get going. Very easy to get going here. Taking off from a different runway today, taking off from the proper runway. The previous mission that I did that I uploaded, I took off down that runway to the left. That's not the one that my wingmen take off from. So this time, I'm going past that, down to the runway that everyone else takes off from. As you can see in the distance, hopefully, there's the Ju-88 Plummer Squadrons making their way across France towards England for their bombing run. There's wingman number 1. So as for the last mission, I'm going to just run this through the whole thing. No edits. No editing out of anything. Ports and all. Goes for about an hour or so, the mission, maybe a bit longer. Lining up here. There we go. Throttling up. Trying to maintain a reasonably straight course there. Not so easy. Coming up to 150, tail wheel should be coming up. And we're off. Wingman with his wheels up. So I haven't unlocked the artificial horizon yet. That's okay. Climbing. Needles in the positive. Wingman 3 is joining formation. Wheels are up. Flaps are up. Engine temperature's good. It's in the upper level, but that's fine. Oil temperature's good. Pressures are all good. Just telling them to get into formation. There they go. Okay, now that we're up, now all that remains is to rendezvous with the Ju-88 Plummer Squadrons. A couple of swarms of them, or a few, 2 Staffels. Let's see if we can find them. And there they are. So all in all, there's 24 aircraft, 2 lots of 12. Not an enormous squadron or group of bombers, but they should do some damage. There we go. Travelling at 10,000 feet. Now you should be able to see over towards the right if I process this at sufficient resolution. There's the three of us on the right hand side. And here we are, making our way in beeline towards the bombers. So part of these videos also is me testing out the stability of recording in the missions in multiplayer versus the single player, just to see if anything goes wrong on the replay. fuel tank again. Now as we approach, we have to slow right down. In fact, they're flying at around about just a bit over 300 kilometers an hour. Here we're in kilometers, about 3 kilometers up. As you can see, with the dropping down of the RPM on the engine, the temperature's dropped below recommended range. But that's okay. I've got the oxygen on, just in case, but I don't think I need it. Because I'm slowing right down. My wingmen are also having a bit of difficulty maintaining formation. So they tend to do a few weird things. Such as let's take a look from the view of the Ju-88s. There we are, at the back. You can see them, 3 little specks. Now, just in case those of you, if you're watching and you're not familiar with the different view buttons, F2 is this one, and you can then using the mouse move around. F3 is the flyby. F4 is the tail view. And if you want to free the camera completely, it's F11. So F11 is quite good in that, particularly you can sort of get into position ahead and get some nice flybys. echelon right formation.
Flight, go, echelon right.
Not quite sure where we ended up. Where are we? Ah, there we are. We're down below there. Okay. So I just told my flight to go off to the right, which they've done. So this is the formation for the bombers: is combat box, close formation, and big formation. To put them all together. The combat box puts the 3 or 4, if you have 4 together in that configuration. And the big formation links them all together to create that larger arrangement. So where are we now? Oof. Approaching the French coastline. Still a way to go yet. I really like the animation of the pilot, how his head moves around. Like I say, if you're watching it this far, it's not the most thrilling of the videos that I could make, but like I say, I just want to record the whole of this simple mission, just in case there's anyone out there who is in fact interested in watching it from beginning to end. So, we're not too far off the coastline now. If crossing it, let's have a look. Where are we? Very close. See if we can line up right in front of it. Get a nice... free camera. Now let's have a look with the free camera. We'll go up ahead. Let's see what it looks like from the ground. Let's say we're just in this village here. Just putting the washing out. Oops. Underground. And we look up. Can we see them? Oh, there they are. A bit of a nice ground view here. Watch them as they go over our little French village. can't quite see the fighters. Us. Oh, there we are. Oh, we're zipping through them. Let's have a look at that. Where are we? There we go. Well, let's pop down to the beach, shall we? Have a look down here. Oh, we're just down at the seaside. Going for a dip in the ocean. Look up. Oh, there they are. Can't see where the fighters have gone again. So where are they headed? Well, over there. Oh yes, that's because we have gone a bit of a distance from the bombers. Up to them now, not too far now, because the distance between England and France at this point of the channel, of course, is very little. So as soon as we cross over, that's where we were just down there, as soon as we cross over along, preparing to drop bombs soon. Now, the target, of course, is, as on the map earlier on, the radar towers at Dover. So we have the Dover here. Let's go have a look at. Oh, there's a bit of a castle. It's nice. It's quite nice. You can move in the different views, so you could, so you could pretend to be someone standing at the top of the castle here, looking around. Oops. Just need to figure out how to make that go slower. Looking up to the sky. Oh, there we are. The bombers are approaching. So the sun rises. Not long now. Now there is a slight change in this mission from where I show the mission builder screen at the beginning. I did fly it before. This is the second run. I had to move the bombers further away. The position where they were on the map was too close, and so I didn't catch up to them really in time. So there was a slight change from the mission builder, where I moved further to the southeast. And I also changed the weather a bit. It was a bit too cloudy, so I changed it to much more scattered clouds rather than broken clouds as the other weather option. Okay, they're moving in for their bombing run now. And bombs away. The aircraft fire has begun. There go two of the towers. Some good hits there. Anti-aircraft fire. They've hit one of the planes. Up she goes. There's the damage. Certainly took out some of the towers. Plenty of others are still standing. There's some craters. Buildings are still intact. Again, the Ju-88s only carry 2 bombs, so it's not a huge amount, but enough. See if we can find that 88 soon. One that got damage. One that was hit. Turning. Begin the return home. airfield down here, which I would have put some anti-aircraft batteries in the vicinity. Can we see them? We're out of their range, so they're not going to be firing at us. It's one of the British airfields. Oh, there's a car. There she goes. Let's see. Oh, there's one. There we go. Yeah, so I put 5 or 6 at each airfield, as well as the radar tower installations. No planes. I'll build up to that. Oh, where have they gone? Ah, there they are. Off into the sunrise. Now, for the return home. I think I stay with them for a little bit, but once they're over the water and heading back, I break off. So yeah, so this series of videos is mostly, like I say, building up. First, put the some basic defensive anti-aircraft at the British sites. Fly over, check it out. Second, have a bit of a bombing run going, as we've just done now. See how that runs, particularly on the replay as well. Fly over with them and record that, and then come back, and then that's right, and then gradually build up from there, just levels of complication, and record them and upload them as just a bit of a series. Now let's see if we can find. Oh dear. That's not good. We have the one here was hit. Now he's essentially just gliding now. We'll follow this one on his journey to the end. What's his indicated airspeed? 132 knots. Descending. Pitch -1 degree, -4. Where is he relative to his friends? Can't see them. Oh, there they are, I think. All the way over there, yes. Fair bit of damage on the right wing. (6,000 feet). See if they parachute out. They haven't parachuted out yet, have they? No. So they're clearly trying to make it back to friendly territory. They may try and do an emergency landing. or they may bail out. Let's see. See what happens. I didn't notice this when I was flying the mission. Looks like he'll make it back to land. Oops. Let's cycle through them again. That's all the others. They're all looking good. Oh, here we go. We're back again. Too bad if you can find a nice patch of grass to land on. There are some large fields down there that could work out. Up ahead looks not too bad. I'm not sure why they don't bail out. They probably would bail out over land now, for example. Actually, they're far too low. So they're going to have to attempt an emergency landing. Let's see. Doesn't look great up ahead. Oh, they've opened the hatch. They're not going to try and jump out, are they? What's going on here? Oh, this does not look like a good spot to land. Ill-advised. Too many trees. Ooh. Yeah, they're dead. So we've now broken off from the rest of them. Now let's see if any of the other 88s got damage. No, you're okay. You're okay. You look pretty good. Fine. Good. Fine. 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 That one looks fine as well. It's just the one right here. Neat. No. No. The others look intact. Top. Nearly there. There are 23 of them to cycle through. So damage, no. No, they all look pretty good. So we're well and truly broken off from the bombers now, heading back to base. Inbound. I've dropped the fuel tank. This is where I tell my wingmen to return to base. Just gets them out of my hair. The approach. They can take care of themselves now. I made a mistake earlier on as well. I thought the mission started at 8 o'clock. It actually starts at 8:30 in the morning. On about, it was June or July 1942 is the date set. There go the bombers on their way home. Everything looks good. Temperature's running cool. Temperature for the oil is good. Pressures are good. Fuel pressure's good. I might also, in one of the missions, put in probability of mechanical failure, which you can do, and so that way you could be flying and something breaks, which adds a level of realism that I don't normally do, but I should put that in just to give it an extra flavour. We're approaching the airbase. Let's have a just a look around the scenery. So that's
Infield 1-1. Request navigation assistance. Infield 1-1.
there I go. Now, for some reason that I don't understand why, it looks like all the trains are going backwards. They were doing it in the previous mission, and now they're doing it in this one. I do not fathom that. Now, where is our airbase is over here, I think, somewhere. If I'm not entirely mistaken. Ah, there it is. There we go. So, let's see, where did I take off from? Oh yes, that's where we were parked. I'm just trying to get my bearings because I'm not very familiar with this airstrip. And then that was where I mistakenly took off. When we do take off properly, it's through here, and then down this runway here. When I say properly, I mean in the way the AI does it, which I'll attempt to replicate. Now, I think, what's that, heading north-northwest, that's roughly where we'll be flying in from. Oh, where are the bombers? There's my wingmen, where are they? Oh yeah, they're coming in from much higher. Now, the 88s are here. So they're okay, yep. Well and truly on their way home. Just checking the map. One last. Let's see if we can watch my approach, like from a, oops, up again, from a spectator standpoint. Where am I? Be coming in from the north-northwest, no? Oh, there's what looks like two up there. I think that's my wingmen. Oh, there I am, I think. Alright, so back to the landing protocols. Coming around, speed just over 300. We can probably bring the gear down in a moment. Flaps starting to come down. Banking around to line up with the runway. Gear coming down. runway that I'm going to land on is this one here. There are my wingmen over here who I think are going to... I think that's my wingmen there, who are going to probably land this runway. Okay, flaps. Bring them down a bit more. Speed 250. This landing I don't think is as good as my last one, but now where are we? 250, about 100 meters off the ground, lining up for the final approach. All the flaps are down. Oh, he's already landed. That's fair. Now, trying for a 3-point landing. But didn't quite pull that off. Bit of a bounce. Drifting to the right. Braking. You touch the brakes, tap, 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 tap. If you put them on too firm, you'll just drive the nose of the plane into the ground. At this point, we're all good. Probably open the canopy soon. There we go. I now do a bit of a lap around the airfield. Zoom out here. Go around the perimeter. Let's have a look at the. Oh, they're all starting to descend now. They should be approaching their airfield, which is dead ahead. Which is this one here. So here I do a bit of a lap around. I kept going in the mission here rather than pull over straight away and stop because I wanted to keep it going to record see how the 88s land. When you have a large formation of bombers and you tell them to all land at an airfield, it becomes a bit of a song and dance routine as they jostle for landing rights. I remember doing large B-17 formations. They'd often crash into each other or crash into the ground as they sort of lost it. Here we go. Is this one going to land? As you can see, they're all starting to move around strangely and break off and try and figure themselves out. No, he's not going to land. As you see, they all lose their shit, and they just all fly off in various directions. Some bounce up and down in the sky in a weird kind of bouncy way. So it's a bit strange, but there you go. Meanwhile, oops. I'm making my way. My tour of the airfield. Oh, wheels are down. That's a good sign. Here we go. Who's lining up? Get right down to ground level. Nicely done. Cool. And here I am. Yep, parked in here, engine off, kill switch, there we go. That'll do. So, if you stuck for the whole video, well done. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, that's fine. Yeah, catch you for the next one.